Hey, what's up guys, I'm Praetorian and welcome back to Victoria 3 as we are playing as Japan. So the first thing we're going to do in today's episode is make use of some of that authority that we have. We're going to enact a decree, the Greener Grass campaign, over here in order to try and get more people there. I don't know that we're even able to fully work the gold mines, because we just don't have enough employees here. So are we building government administration buildings? If we're not, we need to. Yeah, we're not. So we might want to take a look at locations. We have a lot of problems over here, as you guys can see. So we might want to go ahead and take a look at the inefficient taxation capacity locations, and then probably build up the government administration buildings in those two locations. And yeah, we'll just get one more here. And I probably should have ticked those up to the top so we can get them done. So we're not losing all that tax waste there. So we have a ton of radicals here. It looks like we just got a bunch. Well, that's interesting. I bet those are from like a standard of living decrease that didn't happen until we got on the game here. But you'll notice that before that big jump in 1.39 million from the decrease in standard of living, before that, the majority of our radicals were not coming from standard of living issues. I think we had, before we started here, we had like a half of them. Oh, we're losing like a ton of money right now. And that's because of us building those government administration buildings. So once we get that done, we should see this not be as bad. I've got an event about industrial barriers here. And we'll just go with the loss to interest group approval from the bourgeoisie. Yeah, a ton of radicals here, guys. But I think over half of those was actually from the low legitimacy. That's what we did have, over half, until, of course, this huge jump that we just had. And then I believe it was like a third or so of them were from these political movements. So the standard of living wasn't really the issue until after that big jump right there, which we just came into the game today. And so it must have been something that wasn't being calculated. Yeah, that's the only thing I can think of. I don't know why it would have such a huge jump in radicals. And you can see the radicals are getting to be a serious problem here. We're at 5 well, it looks like it went down a little bit, but 5 point something million at this moment. So pretty bad. Yeah, the standard of living seems to be a problem. Now, somebody said I shouldn't be doing those events that would be affecting the pops that live here and their standard of living. You know, those events where we're reducing the standard of living of this culture here. Not sure how you pronounce that. Ainu? Something like that? Ainu? Would be how I'd pronounce it. I don't know if that's correct. But if you look here, they have the highest standard of living of our entire country in this state right here. So I think they'll be alright over there, because yeah, this seems to be where everybody's doing the best. And that's likely due to those gold fields and gold mines. But yeah, we need to get more people moving there. And so we'll use that decree. And since we're not working on any laws, we don't exactly need the authority as long as we stay above zero there. And we did get this tech here. That's one reason why I didn't want to build anything else for the guns. It looks like they're a pretty good price right now anyways. So this is actually going to make it much lower, but we're okay with that because we don't want to pay for it. Of course, those industries might have some issues with it. But yeah, we need the money. So we're going to go ahead and get these small arms even cheaper using the repeating rifles production method. And hopefully they're not having too many issues staying in business because of that change. So we're supposed to be continuing with these military techs. So that's what we'll do. We'll get the breech loading artillery. I'll unlock some production methods for both our barracks and for the production, the arms industry. So we are in the positive here. Remember, we did get a little bit of a debt here. It's not too bad. So we want to burn that down. But because of the problem with the radicals here, what I was going to do is try and get some more authority. So maybe stop suppressing, I don't know, the intelligentsia perhaps. Because, you know, while we don't want the intelligentsia to get powerful, one other thing to consider is that if they do start getting a little bit more powerful than they currently are, which they're about to be irrelevant at this moment, be marginalized. But if they did get a bit more power, then that would also somewhat come from the shogun. Though the shogun's losing a lot of influence right now. 13.9% of the clout that is it. So that'll actually be a bad thing, that tech we just got, because they'll have a higher standard of living expectation. So it looks like we need to get some things building here. Let me just take a look and see if there's anywhere else there is that has some problems with the taxation. I don't know if this is actually worth building or if this is costing us more. It might be costing us more than it's worth. We'll go and get it constructed anyways, because we do want to get that bureaucracy up. Remember, we're still working on institutions. We're about to get the health system up to level 3, so this is going to get worse. In fact, we could probably build a few more government administration buildings, but I think we're not going to work on that at the moment. Trade routes need convoys, so we do need to fix that. I suppose that's what we'll work on first, since we need to construct a few things. We do want to take a look and see how prices are. So it looks like I accidentally built some coffee plantations. I was going to avoid doing that so we didn't have both the coffee and the tea in a market that we had to work on and worry about the prices for. Just keep tea as the luxury good, the luxury drink. But we do have coffee plantations, thus there is a bit of demand for it now. So I guess competition is healthy. So we're going to build a few coffee plantations. We don't need to worry about the market access here since we're already taking care of that. But let's go and get those ports since we clearly need more convoys to support our trade. So yeah, we'll build a few of these and we'll start over here since these markets are connected. So might as well. So we'll get those started and then maybe build a few more over here. I don't know how much we're going to need. We don't have a lot. Yeah, don't have a lot at all. So let's build a few of these and maybe get one over here as well. And we'll see how that looks. We can let it play now since we are using our construction. And then, yeah, the coffee plantations will be the next thing that we get. We do have to make sure that we're considering the population in these locations since they don't have a lot of workers. So let's do one here and one here. And then that's it. And then the steel mills, looks like we're a little bit short there, so we can fix that issue. Remember, we do need to start taking care of the fleet. We need to get that built up. That's part of our, military building effort. We got the army kind of taken care of. It's not quite the size that I'd like. I think we want to increase that a bit. So we'll be working on that. But we also need to start building up the fleet. I think we should be okay. Yeah, they're loyal. I'll tell you what, guys, I've been suffering from some severe allergies lately, man. I don't know why it's like so bad, but I didn't even used to have winter allergies at all. But lately it's just been horrible. Horrible allergy problems every winter for the last couple years now. I know I'm pretty allergic to hay, and we have a pet rabbit. We got a pet rabbit a couple years ago. And rabbits eat hay. A lot of people think they eat lettuce. That's more like he eats lettuce like 2 times a day. He has to eat certain kinds of lettuce. Can't just like give him iceberg lettuce or anything like that. But yeah, he eats mostly hay all day, and it's just his meals, his breakfast and his dinner that he eats lettuce. He eats a ton of hay, and I'm really allergic to hay. So I wonder if that's why. Maybe because of the winter, you're in the house more often and you're all indoors. And while I don't hang out around a rabbit all the time, it seems like you get hay all over the house regardless. The kids spread it around. We need to make use of our building here. Now, I know that money is an issue, but keep in mind the investment pool is going to pay for most of this. So let's go ahead and continue building up. We'll work on the Navy here in a little bit, guys. Let's wait until we can deal with this debt issue first. I'd like to get back into the positive here. So let's just work on stuff that the investment pool will actually pay for, continue to increase our GDP and the taxes that we get from these buildings. So we'll work on the furniture. I think the clothes right now are a bit too cheap for us to work on that. And the luxury prices aren't actually all that expensive at this moment. But yeah, we can go ahead and get furniture manufacturing. So I guess we'll do 2 of those here. And I want to wait till I'm paused until we actually get everything constructing here. So let's do tobacco next. Yeah, that makes sense. Build a bit more on the tobacco. And do we want to do that? We'll do that here, I suppose, as well as here. Then we can do the fabric as well here with those cotton plantations. Now, one thing that was pointed out in the comments of the previous episode is that when we are building these agriculture buildings, this does result in more aristocrats, and I am aware of that. So when we build that, we are giving the aristocrats power. However, it's not as much as you would think, because before we adopt our current ownership production method we have, 100% of the owners of those buildings are aristocrats. But once we go to publicly traded, only a third of the owners are aristocrats. The other 2/3 are capitalists. So you're definitely increasing the power of the industrialists far more than you are the landowners, or in our case, the shogun. Another thing to think about is that industrialists really support, the capitalists really support the industrialists in much higher numbers. Typically, it kind of depends on your country, of course. Let's go with this one here. I suppose we could take a look at that real quick. Yeah, why not? We'll go ahead and pop in here. We got stuff constructing, so we should be okay for a little bit. Although I think these are all about to be done soon, so we might have to deposit so we're not wasting any of our production. But yeah, if we were to take a look at the aristocrats here, you'll see that 49% are supporting the shogun. So almost half. While if we look at the capitalists here, almost 78% are supporting the industrialists. So a far higher number of capitalists support the industrialist interest group than the aristocrats support the shogun. So not only are 2/3 of those owners capitalists, they're more likely to support this particular interest group. So that's why last episode, even though I was constructing the agricultural buildings, why I was confused that the shogun was getting so much power, because it didn't make any sense that the industrialists were losing influence while the shogun was gaining them. I'm not entirely sure what was going on there. But yeah, it was clearly happening. No longer the problem that we're facing at this moment, though. The shogun is losing tons of influence. I'm not sure where our legitimacy is at. We might want to take a look at that. I'm sure it's still pretty low, and those are having massive effects here at radicals, but we're actually losing radicals now while gaining loyalists. So that's good. So we need to get some stuff constructed over here. We're going to do... We already have the cotton plantation, so I guess we'll go ahead and work on the groceries next, and then perhaps wood and dye. Yeah, we'll do all that. All right, so let's go with the food industries first. We'll get them up to, I don't know, let's go ahead and take them all the way up to 30 and get that full bonus there. And then wood with the logging camps. Let's build it where we can. So get a ton of these. We do need to build them where we actually have workers, and there's really no choices here. I guess you could do one right there. And you can do one here as well. I think we should be good on the wood for now. Dye is the next thing we want to get here, the dye plantations. And we do need to select a tech as well. So we're up to 30 here. I do believe that's still currently our cap. We might have to take a look at that and make sure. So for now, we'll build here. Let's get 5 of those. Let's go ahead and get another tech selected. And we can go ahead and change these real quick. So we want to change over to shrapnel artillery. Get both of those changed up, and then go ahead. We'll see if we need to. I assume we will. Maybe not. Maybe artillery is not going to get too expensive. We might have it pretty cheap at the moment. You can see that our small arms are incredibly cheap. We should probably start trading those, actually. And artillery is pretty cheap as well. How about the ammunition? Let's see where that is at. Looks like the ammunition is a bit expensive, so we'll want to fix that. So we'll get the munition plants. Just build one more. I think should be fine. Just kind of bring the prices down. Maybe do 2 more. Yeah, we'll do 2 more. And then let's go ahead and trade these real quick. The small arms. Set up an export route. We do still need more ports as well, so we need to work on that. Let's just go with the most highest productivity, which will be China. Okay, so we'll trade with them. It's often good to export military goods to potential enemies, since if they go to war with you, you can cut that off and cause them all kinds of issues, at least for a little while. Sugar is still pretty cheap here, but that's interesting. We're probably bringing in too much now at this point. Yeah, it always results in that. So we could cut off trade, I suppose, but it's supposed to do that on its own, but it never seems to do so. That's pretty much it here, guys. Yeah, there's not really any other issues I feel like we need to fix with trade. It's kind of a bummer having problems with the sugar prices there, that we're just trading for far too much. So we could get this. This would be useful in an actual war. Same with this one here. But we could also go ahead and start working on the naval techs, and I think that's what we're going to do. Let's go and get the ironclad. I know we're not using it yet. And again, we're going to wait to build up the fleet until we're doing better when it comes to money. Yeah, we don't really have the authority right now. I think we might stop suppressing the intelligentsia so that we can get another tax going. Now, of course, that would result in more radicals, since we'll be reducing the standard of living even further, which standard of living is garbage in our country at the moment. Yeah, not doing great despite all this wealth. Most people aren't living a great life at the moment. I did want to take a look at what our current legitimacy is. We're at 45. That's a shame. I don't think there's anything we could do here either. Now, you notice that the samurai are gaining quite a bit of influence at the moment. That's largely due to a little bit from the generals, but it's the current leader that seems to be making the biggest impact here. Whoever they got as a leader, he is a firebrand, a celebrity commander, as that really ticked it up a lot. We did get the reinforced concrete, so that's higher throughput for our construction sectors. So somebody told me in the last video that he believed we got this started in December of 81. So around December, maybe more likely January is when I'll notice it. January of 92 is when this should be finished up, and we'll get to see what happens with that. So we've got a lot of issues we need to deal with. We still have some low market access, so let's go ahead and fix that real quick, and we'll go ahead and tick this up to the top. Frankly, we should just go ahead and build a bunch of these in any location where we might have that issue soon. Like here, I guess we can keep this playing. Yeah, that seems good. I'm hoping that more people are moving over there now, and we're getting more people in those gold mines. Yeah, we'll go ahead and take care of that real quick. We also want to see, yeah, we still have the unproductive trade routes over here. But again, we are trading far too much for certain goods, because that mechanic just doesn't work very well, where the trade reduces and it increases its size based on what's profitable. It just seems like it often doesn't work the way you'd want it to. We'll go ahead and do our next interest over here. So we'll have an interest in Korea. But yeah, I've just been feeling horrible, man, from these allergies. I don't know if you guys can hear it in my voice, but it's like I'm so stuffed up and boogery all the time now. It's just like every day. Just feeling like garbage. So it looks like sugar is now a problem. Huh, that's interesting. Maybe because we don't have... Yeah, we're not able to trade for as much, is what I'm thinking. Alright, so clearly we need to get more ports going. So we're going to work on that, and it seems that the British are actually damaging our relations. Alright, so I think that's the first interaction we've seen from the Europeans, diplomatic interaction. And so we're finally starting to be recognized on the world stage. So we need to go ahead and switch these up. I imagine this is going to be a problem as we build up more ports. But let's go ahead and do that real quick. Although I think I saw clippers were at a pretty low price at the moment. So yeah, we'll get some more ports going. Do we have anywhere that's not connected? No. We're good to go. Yeah, we just need to get more convoys, like a lot more convoys. We should probably build these in locations that have plenty of peasants. And yeah, we're going to need to build a ton of these, I think, just to deal with. And let's do all the way up here, guys. So we'll do that, and then we know that we're going to have issues with the clippers at that point. So it's going to get more shipyards as well. And this is going to be important for when we build up our fleet. We do need to get a tech now that we have those ironclads. And we'll want to switch those over as well, all those production methods. But let's go and work on, I think we're going to do the monitors. Like, these would all be helpful once we go to war. But not really necessary just yet. So yeah, let's go and get the monitors. So this is going to have an effect on quite a few different goods. I mean, maybe not because we don't have a lot of shipyards. But it's going to affect the coal and the steel, making them more expensive, while reducing the prices of fabric wood and hardwood. Now, of course, it's saying there's no benefit in doing this, and that's because we don't have a demand for it yet. We need to change up the fishing wharfs and the whaling stations. So we'll change both of those up. And again, this will likely have some significant impacts on our market prices here. So yeah, sugar's still a problem. I'm curious why. Oh, we're not getting it at all from the British. So did the British embargo us? Because yeah, we don't have any trade going with them. We'll go ahead and trade with China. And that should help the issues that we're having with the sugar shortages. The clippers are a problem as well, because apparently somebody's still using it. The ports. Okay, so let's go ahead and get those fixed. Though I guess you can't yet because we don't have the cranes. Okay, I didn't realize that. So we need to get that. I think we'll go ahead and switch over to that now. Because yeah, that's going to be key, because with our current situation here, we're going to need to make two different goods. And so we'd have to build shipyards somewhere else if we wanted to have like two different production methods going. So we're just going to switch all these back over, unfortunately. I didn't realize we were lacking something there. So yeah, we'll switch these all back over. And we'll have to change those up after we get that tech, the cranes. And then we'll switch them all up. Let's go and take a look, see if there's any other issues here. So a port apparently is buying these. I'm not entirely sure why we can't even buy them. So I don't know how a port is currently getting those. Yeah, I don't think it's much of an issue, guys. It's only the 25 there. Maybe it's Hawaii. Maybe Hawaii switched them over. Yeah, potentially, because they're in our market. Yeah, there we go. It fixed itself. So coffee's still an issue. Small arms has now become a problem. It looks like we're exporting too much. Again, that's just a consistent issue I see. So we're going to have to probably get rid of that route. We also have, I want to take a look at this real quick. Did the British completely cut us off here? Oh, that's what happened. They had a big old massive rebellion here. See, I wasn't even paying attention to what's going on down here, the notifications at all, because again, there's just so much useless stuff down there. So we have a radical Great Britain. So they're a constitutional empire. Just taking a look at their politics here. These are their current laws, and they're governed by the industrialists. Okay, that's interesting. So the industrialists rebelled against the rest of the interest groups. What's crazy is just how much of the country they got, though. Yeah, a big chunk of it. I got Austria-Hungary over here. And it looks like there's also a civil war in Portugal. So lots of problems around the world. That's interesting and not really surprising, because of the fact we came in today and then just started getting millions of radicals. I don't know if there's a patch today. I didn't see one. Yeah, typically whenever I see all these problems, I'm like, oh, there must have been a patch that changed up a lot of stuff or something, but yeah, I don't think there was one. So yeah, we need to stop the exporting here. So we're going to stop that, because that price is they're clearly too high there. So maybe we want to trade with the countries that's going to need less of it, perhaps, if it's still really, really cheap. The coffee, we go and fix that. But let's first come over here and see how we're looking. Yeah, the small arms is still pretty cheap. You know what? I think this is fine. Yeah, I don't think we're going to mess with that at all. Just because even if it says it's only going to trade 10 away, a trade route, it'll end up eventually growing and trading way more than you want. Yeah, because the trade's just kind of odd like that. Doesn't seem to work exactly the way I think Paradox intended for it to work. Yeah, I just don't like building these coffee plantations, man. Probably shouldn't be doing it, because yeah, we could be building something else there later once we need it. Particularly the banana plantations. It's just nicer getting the fruit through that way rather than the rice farms. Though you do have to keep that production method going because that's where we're getting all of our sugar from. So oil is actually a bit expensive. I bet people are trading for it. Maybe not. Just pop consumption and particularly those food industries, since we're doing the cannery. And we could go ahead and say we're not interested in being involved in this. Declare our neutrality. We have two political movements right now: enact closed borders and enact landed voting. They both have medium support, no radicalism over here. Sorry, my wife just called about dinner. I completely forgot what we were doing here, because it took forever for us to figure out what we were going to eat. It was like 10 minutes of us talking about what we're going to eat for dinner. So yeah, I think we're just canceling that, saying that we we're interested in it. And we're redoing, you know, I don't think this is ever going to get better. There's just going to be more and more demand. So I don't think we're going to deal with that. If people want to pay the high price for the coffee, then let them pay the high price. They have the choice of tea. They would like to not have to pay a bunch of money. So we're not going to build any more of the coffee plantations right now. We can do more for the whaling and fishing, though. Yeah, we'll do both of those. Let's get more fishing wharfs and also work on the whaling. You notice we are running out of space here in our core states. We don't have the ability to get those resources anymore, but we have plenty of other locations where we can get. We'll do like 8 of these. Just get people eating more fish. And then we can also do those whaling stations as well. Get a few more of those to bring the price of oil down. And seems we also need more lead, so we'll go ahead and work on that. Get a couple lead mines going. Get like, I don't know, like 7 or so. So we opened up our market, now we're getting even more useless notifications about every single time somebody wants to trade for some of our goodies. Coal mines. That's right, I was going to take a look at this. Let's go ahead and do that now. We've got plenty of stuff constructing over here. So our current cap for the economy of scale modifier is actually 50. So yeah, we can build a lot more than just the 30 now. So we have to keep that in mind. So we got the labor movement. Again, these are not exactly good things for us because of the minimum expected standard of living, which our standard of living has not budged much at all throughout the campaign. It's stayed pretty consistent. So therefore, it's just going to irritate our pops more. So working on the fish, the coal, that's what we were doing. When I got distracted there to see if we wanted to go beyond 30, which yeah, we'll just go ahead and keep on building here because there's no other choices. So we want to get more coal. It's going to be a continued demand for that. And I think we're good for right now. Yeah, we're good to go. It looks like the bureaucracy is an issue again. I believe we have some tax loss here. So yeah, we'll just construct them right there. And we'll throw it up to the top, why not? So yeah, we're going to get that finished up. And improve our current bureaucracy situation. That might not be enough, actually. Each one of these does produce a lot. I'm not sure how much each one's producing. You have to do the math there. Yeah, that might be enough. So we'll get that finished up, and that will definitely help with the capacity here. That's far enough. We're only losing a little bit of taxes there anyways. Let's go and take a look, see if there's any other issues. We got some high tensions over there in Papua. Okay, so yeah, that's not a problem. Maybe we'll face a little war over there that we'll have to deal with. And we're still having some problems with the trade routes being unproductive here. So we're going to cut that off there. No reason to keep it going if it's not being productive, not for grain anyways. So we did get the cranes that we needed. All right, excellent. So let's go ahead and we'll get those production methods changed, but let's go back to the monitors. And then we're going to change all of our production methods up. And again, we just don't have the money to actually work on the fleet just yet. And we're going to get the industrial port. That should fix our convoys issues for a while. And then let's go ahead and change up the shipyards, the whaling stations, and the fishing wharfs. So another one of these police brutality events here, which will just go with the use of force as warranted again. So we don't want to get rid of that institution, or we don't want to reduce its size at all. And we're just going to declare our neutrality here. How are we doing? I know we're moving really slow over here. Yeah, very, very slow over here. But we're getting it done. Slowly. They could have all this here. It probably won't result in a pretty looking map here. We'll probably end up getting all this. But yeah, hopefully they take this with their colony. Fill that in there. Yeah, we'll just have to see how it looks. But I'm sure there's going to be a war over Papua eventually, guys. I think we should just go ahead and expect future conflict there. Alright, so let's go and take a look at the current situation in the market. We do need to trade away some hardwood. It's just nice that we have this option now. I probably don't want to trade that much away. No, that's going to be too much, I think. Although there's not really any other options. Yeah, but to trade away a lot, so we'll do that. And grain is probably fine where it's at. I think we're going to keep that low. And I think everything else is all right as far as the low prices. On the higher end, we could just trade for coffee as well. That would always be an option. But again, I just feel like the pops need to make better life choices. And buy the teas that's cheaper. I get it. Like if I had a choice between tea and coffee, I mean, I guess I do have the choice and I choose coffee. And I don't know if I would pay more for coffee though. I think I just wouldn't drink anything because I'm not much of a tea drinker personally. Never really liked tea. But I do like coffee. But I don't think I'd pay this much money just to drink the coffee over the tea. We do need to probably get more coal. We'll see. We have a lot of these coal mines going, so I think that's not going to be too much of a problem. But we do need more steel, so we're going to get that started. And we're only building the steel mills in one location. I think that's fine. They have a lot of peasants here. So we're going to work on that. The paper, definitely want to do that since that's a government good. And we're going to make use of these 1.08 million peasants here. The glass. You know, we actually probably want to get more paper than that. Yeah, let's get a bit more. Go up to level 30 there. The glass, another issue, and another primarily government good. So I'm going to get about 5 of those. And engines will eventually become a problem. So I suppose we can go ahead and work on those too. Get the motor industries up by, I don't know, maybe 2 levels or something like that. Alright, so artillery. I don't know if we want to... let me take a look. And see if there's anything we can do here. Yeah, we could just get the breech loaders, which we know that the small arms are too cheap, so we probably should have done that anyways. Alright, so that'll fix the issue with the artillery, but now you can see that the small arms is a bit too much here. So probably just want to go ahead and cut off the one trade route that we have. But we already did that. That's right. These are just trade routes that other countries have set up. So let's go ahead and protect the domestic market on this one. If they want to pay the extra money, then we'll allow it. Yeah, and again, we're back in the negative here. Yeah, we're not actually constructing. And we're not constructing anything there. Yeah, we're just still having issues here. What we really need to do is get these damn gold mines up and running. We're doing better. Yeah, we were what was it, 8,000 on the employment. Now we're at 15,000. So we can see that that one decree has been helpful. We're not interested in being pulled into any conflicts. And let's go and declare neutrality here. Lots of stuff happening over here in Indonesia. Yeah, I got some rebellions going on. Tensions rising for the colonization. Yeah, just all kinds of issues over here. Yeah, it's just completely useless this now. It was pretty bad before, but once we open up your market and you start trading, it's just significantly worse. I just don't feel like I need to get a message every time somebody starts up a trade route with me. Seems like unnecessary to get a message for each one of those. And so it just makes it useless. And again, it wouldn't be a problem if you could just ignore it, but then they put important information down there, and then you miss it. We're doing a lot better on the radicals. Look at that. Yeah, we lost a ton of radicals here. The standard of living is finally increasing. And so we're losing those radicals that we gained at the beginning of the episode. So finally starting to burn them off. Also losing some of the loyalists as well, though. We got the steam donkey. We didn't research that ourselves because we just don't need it. Though, we can take a look here for our gold mines and see if there's anything we could do like with the steam donkey, to reduce the amount of laborers needed. Like in this case, it would be useful. And we also haven't done the dynamite here. Oh, we haven't done any of these. My bad, guys. That's right, we built these and then we didn't do anything. So yeah, we can actually go and change all these up, and this should help. I hadn't even realized that we hadn't changed the production methods at all here. So this will result in a lot more gold, and yeah, we won't need as many employees. So we're in a better situation there. We got the monitor tech, excellent. So we want to change up our naval bases. So now that we've gotten all of the production techs for the military, the ones that are actually going to affect production, we're just going to want to start working on things that are going to give us some nice bonuses to our military, so that when we do go to war, it'll be we'll have a better experience, we'll perform better. So like the hand cranked machine gun with the increased army defense and the increased kill rate, the electric telegraph to have reduced war exhaustion from casualties, so it looks like we'll get that naturally. And then maybe get an additional production method here for our naval bases once we have those. I was hoping to build up the fleet in today's episode, but unfortunately that hasn't really been an option for us because we have been going to debt for the entire episode. And we started out a few $100,000 in debt, and now we're at 1.62 million at the moment. So yeah, having some issue in that regard. I almost want to cut back on the production a little bit, but that's not really going to help because the investment pool is where we're getting all this money from. In fact, we could build more with the investment pool going up right now. Yeah, we could probably build more and then not even have to pay for it, because we'll be getting so much from the investment pool. We're getting 123,000 currently, and that's also still resulting in 111,000 going into the investment pool. So yeah, we could still build more. That's not really the problem at the moment. Our problem is really coming from, well, goods for government buildings is massive. Government wages are pretty heavy as well, and that's really the majority of it here. But yeah, the construction goods, we're not paying for that at all. So we could step up production, and we probably should. Let's do it this way instead. Yeah, we'll just do it through here. So yeah, let's go and step up production. Put both of those up to the top, or all four of those, I should say, and maybe get a bit more. I don't know how much we're going to build. I think a lot, though, considering just how much we're earning currently in the investment pool. I think we can build that up. I mean, we also have the 89.3 million that's already in the investment pool that we can make use of. So we got that through the natural spread. Excellent. So I was hoping to get this in this episode. I don't think we're going to, guys, because this is just about the end here. Yeah, we're not going to make it. So it looks like we'll get it in the beginning of the next video. We are in the positive here for bureaucracy, but I don't think there's anything we want to do with the institutions. We're currently just working on the health system. There's not really anything else we currently need. We have to keep that colonial affairs until we finish up in Papua. And we can speed that up a lot if we increase that investment in the institution. Invest it a bit further, but yeah, I'm just not willing to do so. And besides, bureaucracy is going down anyways as we build up the healthcare institution. We have a ton more production that we need to make use of, so that's probably going to be the last thing we do in today's episode, is get a few things constructing. So you can see that the luxury furniture is currently an issue. I guess the pops have gotten wealthier and they're buying a lot more. So let's go ahead and, yeah, we'll definitely build the furniture manufacturers, but what about the clothes? Yeah, we could do the textile mills. So let's go to fix the issue with the small arms first, since that's a government good, and then we'll do the furniture manufacturing. Because yeah, we can't stop them completely from trading. People are always going to trade with us, more than likely. So we'll get, I'm hesitant to do that much actually. Yeah, let's actually just do the 2 for right now. And then the furniture manufacturers would be next. We'll step those up over here. And maybe go all the way up. You know, actually, we'll build here a bit as well, since they have more pops there. So we'll get 6 of those. The explosives are a bit of an issue. I did want to take a look before we do anything there, make sure that, yeah, we are on the best production method. So we're going to get more chemical plants, like 3 of those. And let's go back to trade screen, see what else we need. Yeah, we'll definitely get more coal mines still. So we'll get that up to, I don't know, 42 for right now. Are we still working on, yeah, we're still working on the motor industries, so don't need to do anything there right now. Could do the iron mines though. Put that up to 30. Not too worried about the wood right now, but we could take a look if there's anywhere we can build. Yeah, I mean, there's really not a lot we can do here without causing some issues. So what I think we're going to end up doing is probably just trading for any other wood needs. As of right now, we're not in a bad position, so I'm not worried about it. But eventually, we might just start trading for that. We could go ahead and do the tooling workshops, though. So build a few of those. And I think that's good to go for now. Should keep them busy for a little while. So we built up the GDP quite a bit in this episode. I think we started at like 105 million, and we're almost at 130. Just looking at where we compare in the world, we're number 3, only behind China and Austria-Hungary. Austria-Hungary is doing absolutely fantastic here. They have a huge GDP currently, and we're well behind both of them. So we're not catching up anytime soon. But we have surpassed the British Raj. We surpassed Britain, which that's probably due to their civil war causing so many issues there, because I think they were sitting around this number when we started the episode. So they just lost a lot of GDP from their civil war. Prussia, we've surpassed them by a lot. They've been building quite a bit, but they're now 20 million behind us, where they were only like 15 million behind us before. So we built up the GDP quite a bit in this episode, and in the next video, we'll be finally finishing up the honorable restoration journal entry, and you'll be able to see what happens once we get that done. So I hope you guys did enjoy today's video. If you did, make sure you leave a like on it, subscribe to our channel, hit that notification bell, and leave a comment. Do hope to see you on the next one, and thanks for watching.